Can we give the best applause we've given all night long to God tonight, to Jesus Christ tonight? Come on, all you got! All you got! All you got! I just want to say a few words to you. I don't know if anybody here from Columbus, Ohio tonight. Close. Radio station in Columbus, Radio U. Obadiah likes to constantly make fun of me for my southern accent. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about that tonight, how that happened, why I have that. And, you know, what I'd like to talk to you about tonight, just real briefly, is relationships. Relationships. That is the way that God describes himself to us. He describes himself in a way of relationships. He describes himself that what he wants to be in our life is a list of things, actually. That he wants to be our King. He wants to be our Savior. He wants to be our Lord. He wants to be the love of our life. He wants to be our best friend. He wants to be our provider. He wants to be our teacher. He wants to be our healer. He wants to be everything. He wants a relationship with us. You know, the thing about following Jesus, you know, is it's not just a one-time thing. It's not someone who would say, you know, yeah, I prayed a prayer when I was little. I don't think that's what God's looking for. I think he's looking for a relationship with somebody. I think he's looking for somebody that would love him. I think he's looking for somebody to be his best friend. I think he's looking for somebody that'll be there when he calls and when he says go. You with me tonight? You feel me? We're not looking... I think he's looking for somebody who would believe. I think he's looking for somebody who would believe even when it looks like there's no reason to believe. You know, the movie Braveheart is one of my favorite movies of all time. And, you know, there's this part in the movie where Robert the Bruce, who is, well, let me go back. William Wallace is Braveheart, and he believes in something, all right? Scotland is being owned and run by England, and William Wallace is like, we deserve freedom. It is our God-given right to be free. And these people are ruling us, they're enslaving us, and he believed in something. And the rightful king of Scotland, his name was Robert the Bruce, and he was talking to his father, and he said, he was talking about William Wallace, he said, I want to believe as he does. I want to believe. Because when you believe in something, it changes everything. When you believe in something, it changes everything. It changes how you act. It changes what you feel is important, what you spend your time doing, what you spend your life doing. You know, we're reading the Screwtape Letters right now online, and I just love it if you guys would join us because it's been such a blessing to me and others. And we're going to start reading the Gospel of Luke on Monday, February 28th. Just go to DiscipleRocks.com, be on the message boards, and then click on the Word. We're right there. And one of the things that Screwtape Letters, what the book is about, it's about demons being assigned to people and trying to tempt them in the ways that they would tempt people. And like, whoa, that's pretty freaky. You know, and one of these chapters was talking about, you know, that there was this guy that was in a war zone and his family was praying that he would live. And the demons were like, I know this is weird, but we want the same thing that his family wants. We want him to live. And I was like, what? You want him to live? And the demons were talking to each other. They were saying, I know this is crazy that we would actually want the same thing that they would want, but just bear with me. Let me explain. He said, because if we keep them alive, the longer we keep them here on this earth, the longer time that we have to corrupt them. The longer time we have to get them attached to the things of this world. The longer time we have to get them to fall in love with things and with stuff and with cars and with houses and with money. The longer time that they will begin to look at this world as their home. Dude, all over the walls with my brain. And I was just like, that's what Satan wants. He wants us to fall in love with here. Where God would say, this place is not our home. This is just our journey to get to our home. To not get attached to the things here. To not love Him, or to not love money more than Him, or a house more than Him, or stuff more than Him, or dreams more than Him. But actually to be somebody who's willing to give it all, to lay it all down. God is looking for somebody who's willing to say, this world is not enough for me. This world, matter of fact, has nothing for me. This world is not my home. This world is not my destination. My destination is with Jesus Christ. Relationship, man. That's what it's about. I started dating my wife 6 years ago, and we've talked on the phone every single day. Every single day in 6 years, no matter if I was in Cincinnati, Ohio, or Germany, or Denmark, or Australia, wherever we've been, and no matter what it costs my phone bill. We've talked every day. You know, we just made that decision that our relationship was that important. How much more important is our relationship with God that we would make that commitment? To speak to Him, to talk to Him every day. You see, I sound like I'm from Tennessee because I am. I don't have to fake it. I don't have to, you know, be one of these people like, you know, you see in the movies where they're putting on this southern accent that sounds really terrible and really fake. It's like, dude, you know, if you sound smart and southern at the same time, you are faking it, okay? It's not. These people, they try to do it, and it's like, you guys ain't got it. I'm sorry. You can't do it. And you know, if I was from China, just as for illustration purposes only, if I was from China, I would sound Chinese. And I wouldn't have to fake it. I wouldn't have to pretend. I wouldn't have to, you know, people who, you know, put on this Chinese accent and try to sound Chinese who aren't even close. If I was from China, that makes sense, right? 2 + 2 = 4. Say with me. All right. You're from Ohio. I don't even know what Ohio people sound like. You guys don't even have an accent. You guys are just like Americans. I don't know what you sound like. You sound like people who speak English. And the point that I'm making is I sound this way not because I spent a day there, not because I spent a week there, or not a month there, not even a year there, or just a couple of years there, or 5 years there. I spent years there. I spent decades there. It formed me. It made me say things a certain way, phrase things a certain way, think a certain way, act a certain way. It cultured me. You understand what I'm saying? I'm from there. And it made me who I am. I don't have to fake it. I am a Southerner. I am from Tennessee. And when you're a Christian, you either are or you're not. You don't have to fake it. You don't have to put on, you know, like when you walk into a room, oh, I gotta sound Christian now. I gotta put on my Christian pants and, you know, whatever. And, you know, gotta whatever. It's like, dude, people see right through that bullcrap. They know, man. You know, there's no faking it. Either you are or you're not. Now, bear with me because I want to be gentle. I want to be merciful. Because if you're a baby Christian, if you give your life to Jesus Christ tonight, you're not going to immediately just walk around and start acting like a Christian. I was actually there when my little girl was born. And she did not come out of the womb and just start kicking around and going, all right, what's up, Dad? Where's my frosted flakes? Dora the Explorer's on. Where are we going here? Let's get this party going here. I got to learn how to count to 8 in Spanish, which she can do now at 2.5 as of yesterday, which is very strange for me. But anyway, like, okay, all right. What else have you learned? Anyway. But she didn't come out that way. You know what I'm saying? It didn't just happen. Well, the point I'm making is this. She spent time, you know, with me, with her family, and she's learning and she's forming things. But it didn't happen overnight. And when you give your life to Jesus Christ, you know, the first day, you know, it's going to be a new day. You'd be a baby. When my little girl was a baby, we fed her, we changed her diapers. We were there for her every moment. And I know that when you become a Christian, that's the way God looks at us. He looks at us as a father. He looks at us that way. And He talks to us that way. And He would be there for us and be there in that way for us. And for some of us, that's where we're at right now. And that is okay. And there's nothing to be ashamed of. And you should be all right with that. If you're a baby Christian, man, I hate it when people think that they have to know everything about God to go to church. Because it's not true, man. It's not true. That's what church is there for. Church is there to love you. Churches should be there to love you, to hold you, to educate you, to teach you what it means to be a Christian, to follow Jesus Christ. That's what you're there for. But there's some of you that you've been babies way too long. And you've been spoon-fed way too long. And you may be one of these people that's like, I believe in Jesus. I believe in God, and I pray. I've never read the Bible. I don't really know much about Him. And I go to church sometimes, and I don't really know what that person believes in. You understand what I'm saying? I think it's time for that person to take the spoon out of God's hand, start learning how to eat, start learning what it means to have a relationship. Because at some point, you got to walk. At some point, you got to take off the diapers and start going to the bathroom yourself. You understand what I'm saying tonight? It's all about relationship. 2 Corinthians chapter 3, the final verse in chapter 3, it says, when the veil is taken off of our eyes, we give our life to Jesus Christ. He removes the veil off of our eyes. And every day He begins to change us day by day more and more into the glorious image of Jesus Christ. Do you catch that? Day by day. See, if you give your life to Jesus Christ, what that verse means to you, what that truth means to you, is that tomorrow you're going to be more like Jesus than what you are today. And the next day, you're going to be more like Jesus than what you were the day before. And next year, you're going to be even more like Jesus than what you were the year before. And 10 years from now, you're going to be even more like Jesus than what you were on that day, just a few days before that. That's God's promise to you in relationships. See, when you hang out in Tennessee, when you're born there, you start to sound like that. When you give your life to Jesus Christ, you pick up God's accent. You start to talk like Him. You start to sound like Him. You start to think like Him. You start to want things that He would want and love the things that He would love and hate the things that He would hate and see people the way that He would see people and love people the way that He would love people. There were no conditions to Jesus' love. There were no like they had to be this or they had to be that or they had to have everything figured out. That's exactly the opposite. He came for the people that didn't have it figured out. He came for the people that actually needed help. He came for the people that everybody else turned their back on. That's the one that Jesus had His target on. He said, I'm going after them. I'm going to make sure that they know I'm coming for them. See, the angels appeared to shepherds first. And the reason that that's significant, they were announcing to shepherds, they were saying, we're bringing good news to you. There's a Savior coming. There's the Son of God is coming. Jesus is coming. Was because shepherds were really considered like the lowest of the low. And what was God saying? He was saying, I'm coming for everybody. I'm coming for everybody. Everybody. I'm coming for everybody. There's nobody that's too low for me. For God so loved the world that He gave His only Son, that whosoever, that word whosoever is a big word. That means it doesn't matter what kind of skin color you have, how much money you've got in the bank, what your sexual preference is, whether you're from America, or whether you were raised in a Muslim house, or whether you were raised in an Episcopalian house, or whether you were raised this way or that way. If that word whosoever is whosoever believes in Him will not perish, but will have everlasting life. No conditions to coming to Jesus Christ. I want you to go ahead and get it out of your head right now. You're like, oh, he's getting ready to ask me if I want to give my life to Jesus Christ. Yes, I am. I'm getting ready to ask you that question. So I want you to go ahead and get it out of your head like, oh, I've got to get my life right first. I've got to get some things straightened up, man. I've got to get off these drugs. I've got to stop drinking. I've got to stop having sex with my girlfriend. I've got to stop doing this, and then I can give my life to Jesus Christ. It's like, dude, it's like saying if you've got cancer, like, man, I got to get this cancer fixed before I go to the hospital, man. I just, I can't go. The doctor's just going to feel, he's going to look at me weird, If I come in there and I'm going to have cancer, and he's going to be like, what have you done to yourself? Why didn't you fix this problem, That's just crazy to think that way. That's not the way it works. And Satan has brainwashed us to think that we have to fix ourselves. That is a lie. We can't fix ourselves. We can't. We need Jesus in our lives. We've all sinned. We've all missed the mark. Everybody. I can't stand it when Christians get on the street corner and they hold up signs saying God hates homosexuals. That's so just crap, man. It's such a lie. People that do that kind of stuff, I just want to smack them, because it's like, have you forgotten? If you're going to hold up a sign saying God, hates homosexuals, which is not true, but God does hate sin, and if you're going to hold up a sign like that, why don't you hold up a sign that says God hates lying, or God hates people who are dishonoring their father and mother? Because those are sins too. If you're going to get mad about one of them, get mad about all of them. People who act that way have forgotten that they were just as guilty of any sin that anybody has ever committed, and they need Jesus right now just as much as the worst sinner on the face of the planet. We all need Jesus. Nobody has a right to look down their nose at you. I'm not going to do it. I don't have the right, man. I know what I've done. I have sinned, man. I have missed the mark in my life. I have made mistakes continually. But I also have a relationship with Jesus Christ. And He has washed me. He's cleansed me of my sins. And every day He's making me more like Him. And every day I'm picking up His accent. And I'm learning how to love what He loves and hate what He hates. And want what He wants. And follow Him and do the things that He'd want in this life. He wants my life to mean something. And He wants your life to mean something while you're here. You're not an accident. You are here on purpose. You are here for a reason. Do you hear me tonight, Cincinnati? Yes. So, with that being said, I'm just going to be brief and just say this, all right? We've all sinned. In just a second, I'm going to ask, in just a second, if you have sinned, to lift up your hand. In just a second, I'm going to ask you if that's what you want. If you want to accept Christ in your life. Whoa. Drink.